The bandwidth for this episode of F2FHQ is sponsored by the Firearms Radio Network, firearmsradio.tv.
Welcome to the F2FHQ podcast. I'm your host, Carol Salva of the Firearms Radio Network. In this podcast, we're chronicling our journeys from fat to fit. We talk about pursuing a healthier lifestyle, not only in diet, but in all areas of life. Hello. Hi. I am recording the intro to this video. This is the video version of the F2FHQ podcast, episode 90. And Maureen Ucles is our guest today. Maureen is somebody from my real world that has been super inspiring to a lot of people that I know. And a ton of people who just did not have the time for exercise or dieting or thinking about it watched Maureen go through a transformation in the last several months. And so just recently, a couple months ago, when she asked everybody if they wanted to do the next round of this weight loss challenge, we all signed up because we got to see how inspirational her journey was right in front of us every day. And so it has been a great 8 weeks. We had just finished our challenge. This is actually Mother's Day weekend, so we're at the mid-May right now. And everybody I know that was in the challenge had amazing positive outcomes. My husband lost a ton of weight. I lost my Christmas weight. And it doesn't tell you how to eat. So I was doing carb night. Other people were doing other things. But the challenge were a ton of healthy habits. I tell you all that because Maureen is going to explain it. But I think one of the big takeaways that you might consider today is what kinds of things out there could you plug into in terms of a community. Our community is fantastic, and this has been a super motivator for me. But this took it to even another level because it was a daily check-in that you had to do. And so if you don't have something like that, you could start something like that. Or you could look to a free website like sparkpeople.com. There are challenges and groups already built in that you can plug right into. Definitely visit us on myfitnesspal.com. And all those links are in the show notes at F2FHQ.com/090. You'll have links on how to follow Maureen and how to get plugged into some of this kind of stuff. But in terms of this weight loss challenge, I do want to thank somebody that organized it for us, and her name is Jennifer Reynolds. And so many people right now are so grateful to her because we had just a super fantastic 8 weeks. And so you'll get to hear a little bit about it when we go and listen to Maureen. But I do want to challenge you to look to where you could get a little more plugged in. If you think that a challenge will motivate you, definitely don't think that you don't have time for it. I'm so glad I did it, and everybody that did it with me is so glad they did it as well. Okay, so let's go listen to Maureen and see what we can take away from her enthusiasm. Okay, one more quick thing. I just went through and edited this video with Maureen, and there was a lot of thumping. I don't know if one of our necklaces was hitting a microphone or our headphones might have been hitting a microphone or something, but I'm sorry for that. I took out as much as I could. It's a little bit annoying here and there, but I think the content is good enough that I don't want to record it. I want it to be authentic, and there's just no time for that anyway. But I think you're going to enjoy it still. And a quick update, this show was recorded almost 2 weeks ago. And Maureen, you'll hear Maureen say she is so close to her goal of losing 50 pounds. She's 3 pounds away from her goal, and it's killing her. But I got a text from her about an hour ago that now she is 0.6 pounds away. She has just a half pound, 0.6, to get to her 50-pound goal. And I'm so excited for you, Maureen. I mean, amazing. We're going to go and listen now for real and see how we can tap into some of your enthusiasm. So everybody listen up and stick around for after the show because I already recorded some takeaways. Okay, let's go. And then it'll tell me that it is live. Gosh, that didn't take 30 seconds.
It popped up there.
We're live. See, I don't know. What do I know? How are you, Maureen Ucles?
I'm doing okay today.
Good. I'm glad. This is the video version of episode 90 of the F2FHQ podcast. I have a wonderful guest that you guys are going to love because I love her. This is Maureen Ucles. Say hello again, Maureen.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm so excited. You know why I'm excited to have you on the show is because you're somebody from my real world. And we've had a couple people from my real world. Do you know Sherry that I coach at Landrum?
No, I coach at Landrum.
Yeah, Sherry Jones.
I do know Sherry.
Yeah. Sherry Jones did a New Year's show with me, and Caroline Miner's been on the show several times.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. But normally it's these different people from our listening audience and people that we're following and trying to learn stuff from. But now you fall in that category as somebody that we want to learn something from.
Well, I don't know about that, but okay. If you learn something, great. I don't know how much you're going to learn, but let's try. Let's do it.
Well, there's no experts over here. That's the beauty of this show, is that really none of us, everybody's doing something a little different. It's basically staying motivated.
Okay.
And so that you can kind of figure it out, because I feel, we all kind of feel like it's a little different.
Right.
And that's why I'm super inspired by you. Can you tell us just a little bit? Let me say real quick how I know you. Maureen and I have worked together for years.
Years.
Oh my gosh, it can't be because we're so young. So it must just be weeks or days or something.
It's years.
Years. When I first came.
Years are fine.
Came to the district, to Spring Branch, and I was a classroom teacher. Well, I was a special ed teacher at first. You were our specialist at the campus, a reading and language arts specialist, right?
And science, put some science in there too.
That's right, science.
I did all of that. I had
That's
fun.
right. And you were awesome. I was heartbroken when the district pulled you away to help everyone because you were supposed to be just ours. So you stayed in Spring Branch, obviously, and now you're in a even higher role where you're working with many campuses for language arts specifically, right?
Yes, for language arts.
So I also am out of the classroom now. I'm with the ESL department.
Right.
And so we both work with teachers and we get to collaborate on how we do stuff. But on the side, people have been noticing over the last year or so that Maureen is shrinking. Maureen, you're like really changing, and even more than how impressive that is, how you spread that love. Tell us real quick. Just give people like your background, or what just like the last year or so, or when things clicked for you.
Oh, well, things are continually clicking for me, and sometimes they click off. Sometimes I'm on mute, but what has happened is I would say about maybe 4 years ago, I came to, I guess, a low point for me because I've had some health problems. Mm-hmm. I have sarcoidosis of my lungs, which is an autoimmune disease, and it's affected my breathing. It's affected my activity. And basically, I don't have the same capacity as other people because of the scarring. And that was very difficult to accept and to live with.
Can you tell us again? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Sarcoidosis is the name, right?
Sarcoidosis.
Sarcoidosis.
Yes. And so when I found out that I had that, I wasn't so upset because I thought I had lymphoma. So I was okay, I can do this. But I noticed that I was having some problems already with asthma and breathing, but I was overweight. So at the same time, I had back problems and knee problems along with that because of the weight that I was carrying.
Okay.
And I've always been, from the in my teenage years and in college years, I've always been very athletic. I had a scholarship to play basketball, and I've been coaching volleyball and basketball with my daughter on the Y. So I've always loved sports and loved being active, but I got to a point where I hurt my knee, and then I hurt my back, and then I heard about the sarcoidosis. So, and everything I tried, as far as diets, I would try and forget about it. After a while, I'd give up because I didn't see the results that I wanted, and I just thought I couldn't do it. But this time happened to where I went to visit my family in Ohio in the summer, and we did a lot of walking up and down this one hill where my brother lived, and the kids were outside playing and having a good time. I have a daughter, and she's she was having a good time playing with her cousins, but when I was coming back home, my foot started hurting, my knee was hurting, I could barely breathe. I just felt like I was 80 years old.
And how old were you?
Oh, it's about maybe 44 or something like that.
Oh, feeling twice your age.
Yes, and then I said to myself, something's got to change because I can't do this anymore. I feel like I can't do anything, because I don't have the energy. I'm coughing. I'm having all trouble with my lungs. If I take my laundry from my bedroom to the garage where the washer and dryer happens to be housed, I would be totally out of breath. And then when I found out, I went to my allergist, and he said to me, yeah, you have some scarring, and it can't be reversed.
Oh.
But if you get into exercise and you eat right, you can have a normal, long, healthy life. Because I was really upset because I was thinking, how much time do I have?
Oh my
because
gosh.
of all these things. I was crying because I thought, I want to see my daughter graduate from high school. I want to be here for her.
Absolutely.
So having said that, I came upon a book called The 17-Day Diet. And I was looking for a solution to my problem. And this was in the summer, so we had a little bit more time to get into a habit, before the school year started and all the stress and all the other stuff that happens. So, it takes a while to get into a habit. So I decided I was going to start this diet and see what would happen. The great thing about the diet is I was used to the low carb. I was used to protein because I had done Carbohydrate Addicts diet. I've done the Suzanne Summers diet. I've done the South Beach diet. I've done all of them. But if I kept with them, maybe I would have seen the results. But this one promised that I would lose weight in the first 17 days if you followed it.
Okay.
When I started it, I got the results because it said in the first 17 days you would lose between 10 and 12 pounds.
Okay.
So I was like, what do I got to lose?
Okay.
So I started it, and it basically is a cleansing. You have these cleansing vegetables, and you're eating the proteins such as turkey and chicken breasts and things like that. Plus you get yogurt because I really like yogurt.
Okay.
And other things within it. But it increased my metabolism. Mm-hmm. And I noticed immediately that I have more energy, not like way more energy, but I noticed I could go through a day of work without coming home and eating something and just wanting to go straight to bed because that's the way it was, a carbohydrate addict. That's what I am because I love the carbs, but they make me sleepy. And
Thank you. I love carbs.
This one it's a phase diet. You phase in different things. So the first 17 days you do certain things. The second one you get a little bit more into your diet. Plus you add exercise within that.
Okay.
Well, I lost like 20 pounds really quick.
Wow.
2 months or so, and I kept doing it, and then all of a sudden I would go off and then go on, then go off and go on. And so this was going on, but for a couple of years where I had lost almost 30-something pounds. And then I got back into work after a while and, stress and then not exercising and all that stuff. So all the things that we should do.
Right.
So a friend of mine told me about this weight loss challenge.
Aha.
This January, and she said that she was in it and it really helped her, and it cost $32 or something like that, and I don't really care about that. I just wanted to get into something where I'd be committed and accountable.
Right.
So I decided, okay, I'll give this thing a try. So I decided to start my 17 diet over again on the 10th of January.
Of this year, just a couple months ago.
Yes.
Well, we're in April, and so 4 months ago.
Yeah, about 4 months ago. So I weighed a certain amount. I didn't gain all that weight back that I had, but I was over Christmas and allowing myself to have too many York peppermint patties. They're really, really good. They're my favorite. And I tried one, and I just couldn't say no to the rest of them.
Trigger food, thank you.
Oh, gosh. And I thought, okay, I'll just eat some and then not forget about it. So, but I thought January 10th I'll do this. And then the thing that we had to do on this is there was a spreadsheet that we had to fill out, an Excel sheet every day. There was a certain amount of behaviors.
Right.
Like eating 2 cups of fruits and vegetables a day, real food. Right. Drinking a lot of water, 64 ounces or more of water, exercising. Mm-hmm. And you get a point for exercising, and you get a point for contacting teammates and all this other stuff.
Right.
So I decided that I was going to take this super seriously. And so I thought at the beginning my goal was to exercise 3 times a week. Yeah. And to continue with a diet, but 3 times a week would be good. But then to get all the points that maximum would be 5 days a week. So I was like, okay, I can do this. I already bought my membership at Planet Fitness back in December.
Mm-hmm.
I was planning on doing something like everybody does every January, right?
Right.
But so my daughter and I, we were already going to the gym, but I knew I had to have it 5 times a day. So not 5 times a day, 5 times a week. So I started going to the gym, starting out slow, and I knew it was going to help my lungs. That's the thing. This was not just so I would look a certain way. This was more about I got to get myself healthy.
Yeah.
So I can live a long life and do the things that I want to do.
Bravo.
And I always think about my daughter. What's your motivation? It's my daughter.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I wanted to be healthy, because I know that the state of my lungs. But if you're exercising, it's going to help that elasticity within the lungs,
Right.
And so I thought, okay, I'll do that for that reason. So I started the exercise, and guess what? You feel better after you exercise. You feel more energetic. I sleep better. All those things that they tell you to exercise. There's so many.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I love this. And the part about the exercise, when people hear 5 days a week, I think they think that you're going to the gym and lifting every day. Like,
it can be a combination of exercises. It can be different things. And it could be like I could do some things in the morning and do some things in the evening and in the middle of the day. I'm all out. Either I'm doing to go 45 minutes at one time, or I'm not doing it. That's just the way I do. But it's up to you to decide what you want to do. It's not prescribed what diet you do, how you're going to eat, and what lifestyle you're going to lead. But I decided, okay, I'll start working. I'll go on the elliptical, because I love the elliptical. But I couldn't do it. I got on there the first time. I was like, oh my gosh, 15 minutes, I about died. Then I decided, okay, I'll start on the treadmill. So I started walking on the treadmill with my daughter, because that's what she always likes to do. She likes to go straight to the treadmill. So I started 30 minutes on the treadmill, 15 minutes on the bike. So it's easy. The bike's easy,
Yeah. Okay.
You get tired, you go on the bike, but it's 45 minutes, right?
To get your point. Yeah.
So then I started, when I was doing the 17-day diet, Dr. Mike Moreno is the author of it.
Okay,
and
great.
he has a new book called The 17 Diet Breakthrough. And in it, he has some additions. So there's this juice fast that he has in there. It's a smoothie fast, which I tried, and it really works.
But it's only one day, right?
Yeah, it's one day when you go between cycles, or say you have a bad weekend. And you're eating a lot of bad stuff, and then so that on Monday you really want to go back to it, cleanse your system. It does the job.
Yeah, that doesn't sound drastic. When I started asking you about that diet, it's not like a magic pill, 17 days and you're done.
No. You continue on.
Yeah, it's all very, healthy. And like you said, the next 17 days, there's another phase of how you add things in, and then you can start all over again.
Right.
It's very, I am going to, today's show notes, I want to just say real quick, are at FAT2FitHQ.com/090, and we'll have a link to his book and the updated book. But
yeah.
Go ahead.
You can find him on Facebook too. So I found him on Facebook, and I started reading. He has these little motivational little things, and I try to post them on my Facebook page too.
Yeah.
They motivate me, and I figured they'd motivate more people.
Yeah.
But having said that, I went through and I started exercising, and I started getting into the habit. And then we got this really cold spell in Houston.
Okay.
And it was really bad, like we couldn't drive. But I'm from Ohio, we could have driven in it, okay? But we had 2 days out of school, and it was really, really cold. And I know I'm from Ohio, but I've been in Houston for a long time, and I can't handle the cold. So I wasn't going to go out to Planet Fitness, but I was determined to exercise. So I noticed that I had some workout DVDs that have been accumulating dust. So I tried it in the summer. It's called Hip Hop Abs. So you probably
Hip Hop Abs.
Yes, and then the guy's name is Sean T. He's awesome. So I bought it in the summer, and my daughter and I tried it one time.
Uh-huh.
And it was just the instructional part of the video. It was just the instructional part. And then we went on to the first video where you actually put the moves together, right?
Right.
I said, I'm going to get to 20 minutes because it was 30 minutes. I'll get to 20 minutes. And I did, but I was so out of breath. And my daughter, she was out of breath, but not as much as me. Her thing was she didn't get the moves down completely, so she felt a little embarrassed. But I don't care how I looked. I just wanted to to be fit, right? So
Right.
I got that out and I started doing that. And
Really?
I combined the different workouts, so it would be 45.
Awesome.
And then it was actually like really cool. I actually could do it. But my goal was just finish. I don't care how bad I looked or whatever, because my daughter would come in and take videos of me looking rather silly.
That's so great.
But I finished, and I kept doing it every day, and I felt really good. I felt really good about myself that I was able to have that time where I was faithful to that, and I was faithful to the diet, and I saw results. I saw results. That's what I liked about the 17-day, because when I started it again, I knew I was going to get those results.
Yeah.
But I never did the exercise with it until this time.
Oh.
And I put the hip hop abs video in, and there's a whole body burn, which you get your whole body into it. Then there's different areas you're working on, and I remember there was some floor hip hop abs thing, and I was like, there's no way I can do this. But I went through and I did what I could, and then I made up some other stuff in between when I couldn't do some of those floor exercises. And I got stronger, so I could do more and more and more and more.
You went on to more difficult videos?
Yeah, well, the longer ones, and I was able to be more consistent, and I could do more.
Oh.
Like before, they had these exercises for your abs, where I was like, there's no way I can do this.
Yeah.
And I tried it, and I did it, a little bit of it, and then because of it I wasn't strong enough to do them yet, I would just get up and do something else.
Oh, that's good. That's such a good strategy.
And then after a while, I was able to actually do it. I couldn't believe it. But at the same time, when all this is happening, people notice.
Oh, yes, we did.
So if I ever think about going off the diet, I can't do it because everybody has said I've done such a good job up until now.
If you ever think about what?
If I ever think about going back into the bad habits,
yeah,
and giving up, because I've lost about, from that time when I was talking to you about 4 years ago, it's so close to 50, I'm about ready to die. Because I've got these 3 pounds that just won't come off right now, and it's getting me very mad.
Oh, you want that round number, 50 pounds lost.
Yeah, I'm at 47, and it's driving me crazy. It's like, but that is amazing.
That is amazing.
That
is amazing, Maureen.
So I have to tell myself, you are not going to stop until you get it.
But you did the 8-week challenge, and it was done, right?
Yeah, I did the 8-week challenge. My goal was basically get to the gym or just exercise 3 times a week. I wanted to lose 10 pounds. I figured that's doable. I wanted to get into a healthy lifestyle. And that was it. Right? Because you have to put goals down, so I'm like, I don't know what to write down. But let's just put 10 pounds. And I didn't put anything about inches and all that, because I was like, I just want to lose a little bit.
Yeah, so, get healthier.
But at the end of the 8 weeks, I lost 14.
Wow.
And so I'm right now at about 25 altogether.
That's amazing. Because when you posted on Facebook, hey, the challenge is done, and we're going to have a week off, and then we're going to have another challenge, Caroline Miner and I were like, sign us up. Where do we sign up? Where do we do this? Because, we've been in this game for a long time, and it's not like we don't know what healthy habits are.
Right. We all do, I think, in some way or another.
Exactly. Sure, we can learn a little bit more about tweaking it and how it works better for us, and that's constantly changing with hormones. But the motivation part is huge. And that is what I wanted to be in on. And that's what I was going to say about Andrea. Andrea signed up too, and she said, Maureen motivated me so much because so much of what she did was in her living room.
Right.
And
that's a stay-home mom. Yeah.
Yeah. So many people are talking about you. Everybody's talking about you because now we're in week 6 of. Is this week 6? Week 6.
Yeah, I believe week 7 maybe.
No, now.
We've got 2 more weeks, I think.
Yeah. And
but then we got to start a new group.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if it's going to continue, but I was talking to, Marquita. She's another person that started because of what we were doing. And I started a challenge with myself. I invited a friend of mine, and my friend that invited me, it was just the 3 of us.
Okay, that was your team.
That was our team, my team, and then the other person, Elena Morris, that I work with, we motivated each other big time.
That's awesome.
because we work in the same office together and we see each other a lot. So we're constantly talking about the things that we can do. And, she goes to the same Planet Fitness, so I would see her there.
I know.
We actually did a 5K together on the treadmill. We planned it together, timed it together. So it was great working with her, and she's motivated, and her fiance too is also part of the group. So I got to know him through it. But having said that, I posted a lot, and I thought I was going to get on some people's nerves.
You just post what you want to post, but even if you annoyed some people, the people that you motivated and inspired, I feel like there's more of them. And you know what? Even one of them is worth somebody being annoyed. You know what I mean?
And that's what I realized.
Wow. I didn't know Marquita at all, but she's somebody that works in your building, and I knew her name. And the other day, I stopped her.
She's so excited about everything.
She's so motivational because she posts every morning that she's on her way out the door. She's going to get in her 45 minutes. Now you can post on your personal wall on Facebook, but there is a group, and you get the check-in point if you post there. And there's 144 people who have all put in $30. And, of course, there's going to be some money split, the top 10% of people. But I think pretty much anybody that does this is a winner,
Well, pretty much I'm going into it just having my personal goals, and hey, I was hoping I was going to win too. I wanted some money for spring break, but that wasn't my main motivation. And when I got into it, I realized after a while, there's just no way I'm going to win. But I wanted to get top 10 at least one time during the week based on what I lost and the points. And I did, actually, 1 week, but I was excited about that. But it's amazing what, points will do for you. Yeah. But my main reason for posting all I did was, and it was a byproduct that people were motivated, but I wanted to be accountable.
Yes.
I wanted to say, look, I'm doing this now, and, let me know if, post later, ask me if I did it. I was at a teacher's conference. We had the lunch, and they had, they served some things that were completely off my lifestyle. Mm-hmm. For example, this great chocolate mousse cake. I mean, it was just beautiful. And it's right out in front of me, and I just say, no, I'm not going to do it. So I posted to Facebook, and I took a picture of it, and I said, ask me if I ate it 15 minutes from now. Ask me if I ate it, because I really want to, but I'm not going to. So then later on, I heard people say, did you do it? Did you do it? I'm like, no, I didn't. I gave it to the person next to me.
And weren't you so proud?
I was, because that time, that really looked good. I mean, it looked really good. But I said no, because I know in the long run, it's going to take me extra. It might throw me off completely, and that's what many times what I'm afraid of, is if I cheat too much here, if I do too much, I'm going to go back to the way I was before.
Right.
Because it took me a while to get back on the horse, you know, and I don't want to be derailed, because I know the propensity in me that, I could go off for another year.
Yeah,
It's hard to get back on.
Isn't that fantastic that you're learning that, like, it might be that chocolate cake or the York peppermint patty or whatever, that certain things. There's other things that probably would be an indulgent, better idea for a cheat day.
Right.
If I have soda, that's the one thing that even on a cheat day, it's just too much, too powerful in my weakness.
Yeah. Something else that I noticed as I was going through this, I bought the book, and I bought it last year, the 17-Day Diet Cookbook, because I'm more of a fast food person, and I don't really cook that much. If I have time, I do. And my life is chaotic, so I really don't have a lot of time. But part of the challenge was to not eat fast food for a week, and part of the challenge was to prepare something and bring it with you, for lunch, or have your meals prepped out, which is important. So I started looking at all these ingredients that I could find, and some of them I didn't even know the name of them, if I was even pronouncing them correctly. And I was asking people on Facebook, what is this for? What do you call this? Where do I find this? I still haven't found acidophilus milk. I'm just going to say that.
Acidophilus milk.
I have not found it, and I don't know why. Houston, we have a problem. I really don't think we have acidophilus milk.
Is anybody out there listening, if you know where Maureen can get acidophilus milk, please send an email to carol@fat2fithq.com.
Don't tell me HEB. Do not say that, because everybody told me, go to HEB for everything. Well, they don't have everything.
Oh, they don't.
And Kroger's had some of it. And then I found a new health food store called Sprouts, and they had a lot of things. And I went in there and asked them for acidophilus milk, and they had no idea what I was talking about.
And what are you talking about? Is that an animal?
No, it's
Milk?
just it's a milk that's supposed to be in a regular carton, just like regular milk, but it has acidophilus cultures in it. And if you're allergic to or have a high intolerance for dairy or milk products, a lot of people drink it. But it's to make some of the smoothie. It was just it was just one ingredient to make the smoothie I wanted to make. And it was in Dr. Mike's book, and so I wanted to make it. But I used other things in its place, and I learned to. And there were several recipes that I tried out.
And you liked?
Oh my gosh! And it was so good, because in the first phase you have certain things, and I needed some help on how to be creative.
Yeah.
You know, after a while, you're like, I don't want to eat this anymore. Another salad? Forget about it. Don't ask me to. There was a lot of different soups, a lot of different things that you could put together, and I through the phases, and I started cooking, and my daughter started eating it. In fact, she lost weight on the challenge.
How old is your daughter?
Well, she's 16, but she wasn't meaning to lose weight. It's just I was cooking healthier.
That's something.
And she liked the food I was making. In fact, she liked the smoothie that had blueberries and spinach in it.
Aha.
And matcha tea, green tea. I never heard of matcha green tea. It was the coolest thing, but you put it in a smoothie as one of the fast days where you can have the smoothies. And lots of energy, lots of clarity, but not hyperness. She hates spinach, and blueberries just sounds a little crazy, but she wants that smoothie. She keeps asking me to make that smoothie for her.
What's in it as a sweetener? Do you use stevia or anything?
Yeah, I'm a big Truvia fan. I take it around with me everywhere. I'm the Truvia dealer.
Are there people at work going, what is that? And you're giving them a little Truvia on the side?
I have to try this instead of the Splenda or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I keep it with me because I like to drink iced tea, and I don't want to use anything else that's
awesome.
going to harm my body. So I keep little stashes in my car, stashes in my purse, stashes everywhere. So if I need one, I have them. It drives my daughter crazy because you open it up and it gets all over the place. But I like that. So yeah, you put a little of that sweetener in it, and then use almond milk, unsweetened almond milk. And what else? I don't remember what else. But that's like the third smoothie of the day.
Okay.
There's 3 different ones you drink throughout the day. There's one with pineapple, and then the midday is the strawberry. Ooh, it's really good.
That's so great.
Really, really good.
But low fructose fruit, I know, you tell me, you're not, it's all the principles. It's funny because across these diets, South Beach, Paleo, Atkins, different things, you start seeing these commonalities that it's the real food.
It's real food, and you just freeze it and get it ready for the next day, and you're good. Yeah. And like in the morning, like for the fast is the strawberry, you put crushed pineapple, and then you add a frozen banana. So I've been learning to freeze things I didn't even think about before, and just make smoothies out of them. So
because they're frozen and they'll make a yummy smoothie.
Yeah, and it tastes good. So
now that diet, he lets you. There's flexibility toward the last week of it. You get to add back in some grains and stuff.
Yeah, it's like the second phase. You get to add beans and corn, and I like the black beans, so I went crazy. Like every other day, you get to have a little bit more carbs, complex carbs.
Okay.
Or I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but you get to add more into your diet, including brown rice and things like that, right?
But a small amount, you told me.
Yeah, it's just like for lunch. You can have it in a little, in the breakfast, you got to figure out how you want to do that.
So it's a whole moderation thing. It's retraining yourself.
It retrains you. That's the whole thing about it. So you go to the third phase, you get a lot more, like you can start having it has to be the whole wheat. Whole wheat pastas. There's a lot of different things, but I like pasta. So the whole wheat pastas. For breakfast and lunch, there's ways to put in these other, what's it called? The steel something oats.
Steel cut oats. Those
steel
are
cut oats.
Different in your body than rolled oats. It's amazing.
Yes, steel cut oats and other things like that, including the whole wheat toast. And I like that because I'm like, oh, I get toast. It's so exciting. toast. But it's one slice, it's one slice, and it's like I get so excited. I get toast this week. So
but you've already done weeks without it.
Right, and so you can have them every day, and then there's different combinations. Except for dinner, you got to go back to your light dinner with those cleansing vegetables. But you can have little snacks in between, like you can have your yogurt. I like the Greek yogurt, and you can have the fruits in between. So that helps with you. And then in the third phase, you can actually have popcorn and the Skinny Cow. You can have the Skinny Cow sandwich, the ice cream sandwich as a snack. But he says you need to exercise at least 45 minutes because you're going to have the extra carbs in your system, and you won't lose the weight as fast. But it's your blood sugar is leveled out, so you don't have those big cravings and things like that.
That's amazing. See, that's a way. That's what I liked when you explained it to me, for people to be reasonable but retrain and educate ourselves, because like you said, when I started, there were things I had to look up. What is this? I don't know. And you start to learn about all this stuff. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, and learning a lot about, like I said, a lot of things that I couldn't even say or even imagine eating. I don't know if you say it kefir or kefir or however you say it. I was looking for that, and I started adding that to my smoothie, and I still have some in the fridge, so but I like the different ways in which it's retrained me. So after you get done with the third phase and you decide, okay, where am I? Do I want to continue to lose weight, and in what way do I want to do? I want to lose it real fast so I can go back to the accelerated, or do I want to go to activate with on and off days? So then you decide what you want to do. Then you can come back. I've already gone through the cycle twice. I've gone through the 3 cycles 3 times. So I'm in my beginning of the third part where I still want to lose weight. So I'm going back to activate on off. Because I like having a little bit more of those carbs, but then I have to exercise. Not more, just the 45 minutes, but still be consistent with that. So, sometimes I'll go an hour because it's good with those endorphins, releasing the endorphins in your mind. And for me, it's about I can sleep. I have a sleep disorder, so I have sleep apnea. What else is wrong with me, right? But I've noticed that maybe through the losing of this weight that it hasn't been bothering me. I don't use this mask. I hate it. It drives me crazy. So, but I know that I can sleep better.
That's fantastic. Something that I love about the challenge is there's so many things. Caroline and I and Perlita Robles were talking about the other day. The magic of it, like we feel so great. And people don't even want to hear how great we feel anymore. They just don't. It's so annoying because, I'm trying to figure out, is it better to be thinner or to just think you're thinner and feel great? And I think it does how you feel. Because yes, I've lost some weight. I'm super excited. This challenge made the total difference when a lot of things weren't, and I dropped the Christmas weight that I was gaining. And now I've kind of plateaued and I'm up or down a couple pounds, but I feel like I'm continuing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a state of mind, and we're trying to figure out, is it because the challenge gives us points for getting more sleep? Is it because of the vitamin we have to take every day? Is it because we stop eating a couple hours before bedtime? Is it because, it could be a lot of things because it has you do so many things.
Right.
For you. So who cares?
Well, I know. The thing that's really impressed me with this whole thing, the challenge and all the changes that I've made, is that the people around me are excited about it. And it's no longer, I'm just, I'm a closet 17-day diet person.
Right.
I've been wanting for a long time to have somebody join me on this road. Because some people, they don't have to be on the same diet as me, so we're still focused and we still know what we want to do. But I've got people who now want to do the 17-day diet.
Did you say they don't have to be on the same diet?
No, because they're part of the challenge, and it's great to talk about exercise. Great to talk about, because we have so much in common now. It's like it's a sisterhood,
It is.
Like I go from campus to campus, like, hey, how's it going? Oh, I did so bad this week, or oh, this week has been great. I had a great weigh-in. These people that you normally don't. They're people, they're friends of mine, but we have so much more to talk about now.
It's great.
And that part I really love, because, like I said, the first time it was 3 people. We were 3 people that were from Spring Branch. And then I think that after Elaine and I and some other people just were talking it up and excited about it, I think we had like maybe 30 people involved.
I know. It's
not more because you got some people.
I did. I want to shout out to TJ Gaucher and his wife Polly, because I know they're listeners to this show and they're doing it. Bill and Carolina Schmidt also, and they're doing Tough Mudder with us because they just got
That's
fired.
amazing.
Everything. Of course, Caroline Miner, and I mean, just people who, I don't know. It's this little group, like a little family of people. It's 144 people, but within that, you have people who are connecting and just sending each other a quick motivate. Like lately, a lot of people have been posting that they've lost their motivation.
Right. That's been a trend.
Just because it's like week 6, they're like, what, I'm having a hard time. And it's amazing to me, somebody will post something to say, hey, you know what, I felt like that and I did this. That whole dynamic of those people talking and I get to read it just is so powerful for me. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't even, so it's really amazing. I do want to ask you, this is a good segue. When I was walking with Perlita and Caroline the other day, we were talking about people in our real world, and we talk about this on the show sometimes because people write in about their family or their friends. But it's such a fascinating dynamic. The same people who would tell me, talk to the hand, or give me that glazed over look, or you could tell I was beating them down if I was talking about anything I'm trying health-wise, call it a challenge, and that's totally different than, let's do this diet together. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe it's just it's a camaraderie. It's like a team. Yeah. You know, if you're really competitive, or if you're in the sports, or whatever it happens to be, it's something about being a part of a team and a common vision. But then you're competing against one another. Yeah. I don't like. I like to trash talk. And no, but it's fun. It is. I'm not doing it. I'm just having fun. I mean, like I said, I used to be involved in a lot of sports and things, and I didn't trash talk so much as I just encouraged and worked with the people. And there was a bond. There was a complete bond there of being a part of the team and having a common goal. But like when we started our challenge, Marquita is one of the person that she's real competitive with me. We've done some other things together, like on ESPN. There's some sporting football thing that we predict who's going to win, and blah blah blah. And I win every time because she just doesn't know the teams as well as enough as I do.
Yes, you're such a sports fiend.
Well, now she's stuck on the New Orleans Saints, okay, and that's fine. But I want to win, so I pick all other teams and other different teams.
Right.
So, but we're close. But we go back and forth, and it's just a way to connect, right?
Right.
So then when this came about, she was like, "Oh, you're going to be in it? I'm going to do it, and I'm going to win." And she is. Awesome. She's kicking my butt this time, by the way.
She's fantastic.
She is, and that's great because that's wonderful.
Isn't that it?
Good for her, But I screwed up my second week. I forgot to take a vitamin or something, and it just drives me absolutely crazy.
Because you didn't get perfect points that week.
Yes, and so I'm in week 3, week 4, and I'm just like, I don't really care about points anymore because there's no way I'm going to win.
Oh, you have to have perfect points to win pretty much.
No, that was my goal, was to have perfect points all the time. Because I knew I wasn't going to be in the top 12 or 14 because of the amount of weight that I had to lose. Maybe I wasn't going to lose as fast as other people. I figured that's what was going to happen.
And you had already lost, so it's harder to lose.
It's harder. I've been finding these last 3 pounds has been like driving me crazy. Right. But anyways, having said that, but for me, my personal was to be perfect all the way through. And then when I just missed it, I was like, oh gosh. But what I do now is I'm looking at the clothes. I mean, I can go, let me just say, I have been in that women's section forever. And there's no good clothes in the women's section. There's very little, okay? You go to the other section, there's lots of these great clothes that you can get, right? Okay. But you go to the women's section and never have my size, and it's just like, it's so frustrating. And I'm like, gosh, so I've gone down maybe 4 or 5 sizes, maybe 5. Well, I always looked at the other side, and
but then you didn't have your size over there.
No, and it's the same problem with my feet. I'm tall. I have size 11 foot. So what kind of women's shoes am I going to get?
Oh,
I get the leftover stuff. So, or you have to order it special and this and that. So I go into size 10 sometimes, and I can fit in that. But I don't get the best shoes. The cute shoes are for people who have small feet. Okay.
Oh.
Same thing happens with clothes, right?
Okay.
So I now am in the Mrs. section, I guess that's what it's called.
Oh.
But I always see myself going to the women's section because I was programmed to do that. But now I can go to the other section, and it's like I can actually do something that doesn't have a W after it.
Oh, Maureen.
You know? And it doesn't have to have an M after it. It's just straight up, that's the size, and I can get into them. Now I have one more size down I want to get to. But I can get into those now. And I thought never, ever. It's been 13 years since Elizabeth was 3. 13 years since I got into that size. 13 years.
You are in the cute clothes section now.
I am, but my mind is still programmed, and I get a size up. Just like with shirts and stuff, but my daughter says it looks like when I wear my old clothes, she's always telling me it looks like I have a poncho on. Mom, why are you wearing a poncho?
Shirt. You had a shirt. You had a shirt the other day that all of us, Sarah and O'Malley and I, were going, look how thin Maureen is getting.
Well, that's probably my new clothes.
Yes, absolutely.
80% off at Kohl's.
Stop it. That's fantastic. That's so much fun. And of course, we know that the clothes, the pictures, the measuring tape are much better
than that scale.
Than that dang scale.
Yes, you can say it. It's a dang scale.
It is. It rules my life. But this challenge it's the healthiest I've ever been about the scale.
Yeah.
I don't even want to tell you how broken I am about that scale. And every day, on vacation, packing the scale because I don't trust other scales. I mean, seriously, sick.
Well, I know what you mean.
And this challenge, seriously, it's something about, I'm doing carb night too, and there's something that's either at play with that and with the fact that I made some progress and all these things that the challenge has me doing that I'm telling you, as soon as I started fitting into a better, my clothes started fitting better and I could get in my sizes again, you're at a different, you can't bottle that stuff. You could sell it for $1 million if you get that feeling. It's true. And those are better measures. So I have finally gotten to where I don't weigh every day because what's the point?
I know. You just get frustrated, right?
And my clothes fit great and I feel great. So why? I do have to weigh every Friday because of the challenge.
Right. But it's not every day. And I think that the clothes are the true test. And like you said, the measuring tape. Because when I started, we had to take a before and after picture, right? I still have my before my before picture from January 10th, and I'm looking at it now, and then I look at my new picture from the second challenge, and it's a way big difference. If I was wearing an exercise bra, I'd post it, but I was wearing my regular bra, so forget about that. In my other one, I actually had exercise gear on. So, but the way it's like 4 inches off, 4 inches off my waist, 4 inches.
4 inches.
Yes,
because,
it's incredible.
All the exercising that you're doing, because you're strength training now and everything too, right?
Well, I do the hip hop abs.
But that's a lot of body weight.
It is strength training. That's what I like about it.
It's functional training. It's functional training. So you're using your own body weight as resistance.
It's not just cardio. It's the other.
Right. And we fight to build that muscle. And then we're surprised that the scale might not have moved when we know we have more muscle.
I know, but it's still that.
So 4 inches off your waist does not lie.
No, it doesn't lie. It's not lying.
The cute clothes section doesn't lie.
So which is cool. Yeah. So I got to keep it up because I got to go visit my family in Ohio for the summer. So my goal is to get at a certain weight. Mm-hmm. And I'm, my sister, she saw me the other day and she couldn't believe it. And my brother came and visited me. Oh, it was about 2 weeks ago. And he hadn't seen me since last summer. And I said, and I called my mom because my mom knows I'm on the diet and everything. She's very, very supportive.
No, that's great.
And so I said, what did he say? What did he say? She said, Mom, Maureen's skinny. She's skinny. And I'm like, me and skinny, that's never happening. You know what I mean? It's always been me and pleasantly plump, but not me and skinny.
Oh, Maureen.
I was like, okay, I got to keep this going. Because there are times when I'm just like, just don't want to do this anymore. Not that I want to do anything else, but I'm just like, I get to a point where whatever is going on with whatever at work or at home, not really anything at home, I just like, I don't have time for that, or I have to go back to it and I say I'm going to do it. Then I get all those updates on my phone from Facebook from everybody.
Yeah.
And then I go to campuses or I meet other people who haven't seen me, and they're very, very encouraging. And then not just about that, but I like to also encourage other people.
Right.
Because a lot of people started the 17-day diet, or they're on they're thinking differently.
Right.
And they're seeing results, and I really love being able to encourage them, because it's hard. It's just hard work. This is hard work, and you just have to decide to do it, and then keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Just finish, And I know how hard it is, because I go off for a while and come back, go off and come back.
And you've made it your hobby.
Yeah.
That's, I think, key for people is you've made it part of your life, where somebody's going to tell you it's super easy, they're lying, and it gets a little harder every year. But you've made it fun too, Maureen, because you're not sitting there slogging through it. You might post, oh my God, I don't want to do this hip hop abs. I really don't. Ask me later if I did it, because I really don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. And then 45 minutes later, you'll post, I felt so amazing. I'm so glad I did that hip hop abs.
It's like they say, you never regret doing the exercise.
Right.
You regret not doing it, but you never regret after you've done it, because you feel so much better.
Isn't that so true? And Caroline has been telling people this for the longest time. She was just telling Perlita the other day, because I don't know if you've seen Perlita Robles, but she's made incredible change too. And Caroline told her, now it's your time to start inspiring others. Mm-hmm. You need to start doing that, because that's where you're going to start getting your second motivation, level of motivation.
That's true.
That's how we got into that conversation. Well, some people don't want to hear it. No, maybe you just need to be a good model, and maybe, not a perfect model, because nobody is, but, maybe you just need to be open for when people are going to come ask you. But within the challenge and people who are like-minded, absolutely you want to, and that's what you've done, Maureen, and I'm so in awe of how many people followed you in our real world into this, and who knows how many people you affected beyond that.
Right.
I mean, I've got girls that I want to say hello and a shout out to the Suarez sisters. There's these girls that grew up down the street from me 40 years ago, and they're all over the country now, and they're married. They're in the challenge, and their husbands are in the challenge.
It's just awesome. Get more people in the family involved.
But that was from you. To me, to them.
Well, it's that domino effect, or that.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
One affects the other.
I don't want anybody to think you have to be in this particular challenge.
No.
I have seen people, a guy named Dion Denton, he started our Fitbitter group. He turned his whole life around when he and like 4 friends decided to put some money down on who could lose the most weight over like 3 months or something like that, the most percentage of body weight. And he's so competitive, and he was like, that's all I needed was somebody to throw down the gauntlet. And then it was that jaw jacket, and it's really camaraderie.
Right.
I mean, you could do a challenge with people at your work. There's links in the show notes every week, because we have a MyFitnessPal group. We have a Spark People group. We have a Fitbit group, because people in this challenge too, people will say, well, I don't have a team. So then make virtual friends, like-minded friends.
That's what's happening within the challenges, that I've gotten to know so many other people just through, they're always they either have a comment from a post, or I comment to a post, or whatever it happens to be. But wow, these other people I didn't even know.
Right.
And now we're all doing this together. Someone said, "Oh, can you be a friend of this person? She's my friend from way back."
Aww.
Because she's involved in it, but she doesn't have anybody, so let's befriend her. So we did, and I, it's Sue Howell. She's on.
Oh my gosh, I befriended Sue Howell. She's super inspirational.
Yes. And you know what? She made the top 14. Did you see that?
Sue, rock on, Sue.
She did, and Perlita, I call her the workout beast, but I call her Beast.
Yes. Judy at once, and Judy G, Martha. She made, so many people. Some of those girls from high school that I told you. Lots of people. And you know what? You don't need to make the top 14. I loved it. It was great that 1 week. And Brad,
Yes.
my husband, in it.
Yes, he
and
did too. Yes.
He's more motivated than he's ever been. That's why I love the psychology of it. Because, again, we kind of all know, but what is it that's going to motivate you? Is it your why? Is it your 13-year-old daughter? Or is it the fact that you want to, do something for an event that's coming up? Or is it your health? Once you find your why, then, of course, that's going to be your motivator. But the more positive things you can surround yourself with.
Well, that's true.
I just want to thank you because you've been that for me. And
I appreciate it.
It's been a blast. This has been, I've gone up and down, and I know what to do, and I can starve myself. I can do a lot of different things. I've done different things to varying degrees, but I'm telling you, this has been the most fun.
Oh, it's been a lot of fun, and I know we're going to end it in 2 weeks, and I don't know if it's going to continue or not. But my thought is, if it doesn't continue, then we make our own. We do our own thing, and we decide what we want it to be, and have some other challenges in there. I honestly want to be challenged more because of the weight loss. Yeah, is important, but I want to be challenged in the fitness part.
Oh, yeah.
Like I know you. I was back and forth. Do I buy a Fitbit? Do I not buy a Fitbit? The other day I was at Target and I didn't buy it. But that's my next step because I want to do those 10,000 steps in one day. I heard about that, and someone told me by doing hip hop ads they did 5,000 steps in one time. So I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Because I've been wondering how many calories am I actually burning off with it.
No. It's not. It can't be an exact science, but the fact that it's one more motivator for you to move is golden. It's golden. You can argue the whole calories in and calories out and does it matter. But when I didn't wear it for a while, I got so sedentary. That's just me. That can't be good. Even if it isn't a 1-for-1 calorie thing, me moving more and the fun of the Fitbit group. That's a trash talking group for sure. And so that's it. That's where I think I might be going next with it. But okay, we have an affiliate link on our website I'll send to you that you can get your Fitbit through our website. You don't pay anymore, but if you click through our site, supposedly, all right, Firearms Radio Network gets something like 50 cents or something. I don't know.
I'll have to check it out because I want something more. Because I've gone through 2 weight loss challenges, and I'm ready for something else.
I think that would take it to the next level.
I'm ready for some other challenge. I'm not going to do the mudder stuff because I'm not getting muddy, okay?
Maureen, you're missing life, man.
No, the reason why is not because of the mud, because I used to be into all kinds of sports, and it doesn't bother me. It's just my lungs, I can't go run and do all of that like at a really fast pace. I can do at a certain pace, but I'm out of breath. Like I can go up flight of steps and then boom, I'm at the top and I'm out of breath. I mean, it's not. Some people say, well, you're out of shape.
No, it's your issue.
It's my condition, but I could do like I could do a 5K. I could walk it. I could do different things.
We could do a Gritty Goddess. That Caroline and I did that, and it's just a 5K, and a lot of people walk the whole thing. And like where they have a wall, it's all for women, and where they have a wall right next to it, they'll have a real entry-level wall that's lower, and everything is like that throughout it. And these huge groups of women do it, and they walk it. Some people run it. But it's more about just like if you were to walk a 5K with your friends and have a blast that day, just having fun.
Right. Something like that, because I just know that my capacity is not going to work because I don't have the flexibility in my lungs. So. Are
you doing Running for the Arts this weekend?
Actually, no. And I really, Marquita was, inviting me a lot, but about 1,000 times. I have to work, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll look for Marquita. And Caroline, a lot of the people you inspired to get in this challenge are doing this 5K in our district.
I would love to have done it, but
we'll represent you. I'm really going to walk behind my kids.
That would be good.
Yeah. All right. I want to do a shout out for this place here in Galveston.
Farmers Market.
Yeah, there's a farmer's market down here in Galveston, and they're the coolest people. I'm going to put a link in the show notes because everybody there was very cool. And I went to buy some local. I'm trying to get, little baby steps, but I was like, I bet they have some good greens there that are local and everything. And, of course, every farmer's market. Yeah, every farmer's market does, right? But this guy, he sold me a container. I mean, it's like $15. There was one for 12, but I went with the one for $15, and it was 4 different Ken with Texas Select Farms. Big shout out to Ken. So I have my little kale garden, and he told me what you need to do is morning sun, afternoon shade in Houston, not full sun all day. Now I'm going to grow my own kale.
Well, that's cool.
I mean, it's already started. See, that's the difference. And it's already local, and it's for $15. I'm really going to try not to kill it. And yeah, I want to say thanks to him because that was super fun. And also, there was a gal named Kate Black who sold me this shirt. I love this shirt.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it's great. So, okay, Maureen, what else? What else can we'll put the links for the guy that got your whole diet under, totally changed your life with the 17-day diet. But anything you would tell people that are just starting out, that are just thinking about making a change, but they don't know if it sounds hard, that kind of thing?
Yeah. Well, to me, it depends on what you want to do. For me, I had to go whole hog. I had to go full force. That's just me. I'm either going to do it or I'm not going to do it. Because if I try to do it halfway, I'm going to quit.
Okay.
I'm not going to get the results that I want. And of course, if you're not the way you eat, the certain ways you eat, your metabolism is not going to be revved up and things like that. But what I would say is make that decision and let other people know you're doing it so you can be accountable. Get with the group. Get with some type of group. It doesn't matter. I mean, if it's Facebook or whatever, get with someone to let them know that you're doing this. And I guess what I would say is it's about the journey. It's about finishing. So if you fall off the wagon, get back up, dust yourself off. If you fall off the wagon on the day 3 or day 4 for breakfast, and then lunch and dinner, make it good. Okay, don't go a whole week and say, well, I'll eventually come back on Monday because Monday's going to be the perfect time. There's never a perfect time. Yeah. There's never. So what I've learned with myself is it's okay if you fall down. It's not okay not to get up.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
And exercise. If you're stressed out, the best way to, in my opinion, for me, the best way to get rid of that stress is not to blab it, not to go drink a bunch of beer, not to go, binge eat or whatever. Go get yourself some exercise.
Thank you.
That's an appetite suppressant. It'll work for a lot of different things, and it will keep you on the road to doing what you want because you got your diet, your lifestyle helping you, and then with the exercise, it gives you the motivation. You need both of them. Yeah. You need both. But just finish. Just every week, find something and conquer it. Just finish. It's not about being in the top 14, although that would be nice. Right. But it's about being faithful to yourself. You are worth it. You are worth it. So don't let anybody tell you you're not. Because when they're going to have those people who say, oh, you're starting to diet, just come over here and have some peanut M&Ms.
You are.
Just do this and that. Just, oh, come on, try. It's someone's birthday. Just have some cake. Hey, I said no to cake last week. Marble cake. It was some people's birthday. They said, come on in. I'm like, I don't want to go over there. Yeah. But I went and said happy birthday anyways. And then they had the cake. Oh, it's a cupcake. It doesn't have chocolate. I said, I don't care if it has chocolate or not. I'm not eating it.
Right.
Because then it'll cause me to go into some other place I don't want to be. But just having said that, then, to yourself, it's just like, no, I'm worth it. You're worth it. So the decisions that you make are going to be best for you and your family.
Right.
There's always people who are going to say, oh, come on, a little bit of this is not going to hurt, a little bit of this is not going to hurt. Yes, it will. To me, it's just like having an addiction to alcohol or something like that. You can't just have a beer if you're an alcoholic. Because it's going to throw you in a tailspin. You can't just have a cupcake. Oh, just because then you're going to have cravings later.
Right.
And then for me, I know that some people may have a different philosophy, but for me, I can't. Because if I do, it'll cause me to go someplace I don't want to. And because I'm worth it.
If people really care about you, they will respect that. Because I agree. You do. Well-meaning people are like, give yourself a break, Maureen. You've done so great. Just give yourself a little break. And you might know which foods you can give yourself a break on.
Right.
But if you don't, I mean, if you know that food, they will either start to respect that, or you need to reevaluate your relationship. Like,
right.
I like you. I work with you well. You're a great person, but I'm going to stop hanging around with you around lunchtime.
Right, because that's right. And then there are alternatives. I mean, there's different things you can do. For example, I cannot have that cupcake, right?
Yeah.
But I was starving that day because I forgot to bring a snack. I usually have my yogurt or my prunes or an orange or something, but I didn't have it that day. But I was so hungry because I didn't get to eat my full lunch because something happened, blah, blah, blah. And they had peanuts. So
Perfect.
I said, I'll have peanuts.
Much better choice.
It's a better choice. It'll hold me off till I get home. And
that's fantastic.
So, it's like those little choices that we make. So what I can't, like my sister was saying, well, I have trouble. I said, don't buy it. Don't bring it in your house. You're lying to yourself. If you have a honey bun and you're looking at it every time you go to the kitchen, you're going to eat it eventually. If that is what really, because my sister loves sweets.
I know.
Like, don't buy it for your son and other people. And if it's not good for them, it's not good for you
either, right? I know.
Don't. You're kidding yourself. She goes, well, I went and I binged on. I said, well, you can't do it. So you know your triggers, right? You know yourself. Don't lie to yourself.
That's fantastic. That's great advice for our newbies out there, and we're all kind of newbies.
But you know what? It's a long trip, but set intermediate goals. I was setting 10-pound goals for myself.
Yeah.
And as I got to those 10 pounds, I would celebrate. I would celebrate. I'd be so excited about it, and then I go another 10 and another 10. And now I am at almost 50 pounds. And those 3 pounds, I'm almost there. But I've gone from a size 20 to a size 14.
That's great.
I'm telling you, this is the first time I'm telling anybody this.
That's fantastic. That's a big difference. That is, I mean, that's major.
It is major.
That doesn't lie. You can't fit into anywhere near a 14 when you're a 20. No. Visibly, Maureen, you look fantastic. You just are so full of life, and you have just a totally different slender look about you, and the way you carry yourself, you're just so happy, and it radiates, and it's contagious.
Well, people tell me I'm getting taller. I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm like, I've always been 6 feet. But you just look taller now. I'm like, okay, I'm taller. But
because you look slender, that's a thing.
And someone told me today that I look younger. So I'm like, okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'm looking younger. I'm feeling a lot better, of course. But one of the biggest things is for me, for my stress level, with that exercise. And I'm talking to myself now because when I finish sometime tonight, I'm going to go do hip hop abs. Just check on me if I didn't.
Okay, I'll check later.
But I'm going to do it because I haven't done exercise for a few days. I got to get back to it. But I notice when I am doing the exercise, I can think clearer. I can sleep better, and my mental disposition is greater. A clarity. There's a clarity, and I'm more creative. I don't get to write on my blog as much when I'm exercising as much, but when I do, it comes out easily. And so I need to do the exercise. It's not like about, if you want to. No. For my stress level, I got to do it. I just have to. So anyways, thank you for the time.
No, thank you so much for sharing with us, because it's just a little peek into the mind of somebody who is brave enough to not just take care of their own journey, but to put it out there. To put it out there for everybody. Like you said, you were a little worried that you were annoying people, but you were just going to plow ahead because you never know. You might inspire somebody. You inspired a ton of people who are inspiring other people, and we're grateful. I speak for a lot of people when we say thank you.
Well, that part is amazing to me, because when I finished the first challenge, I said, I apologize if I'm bothering anybody, and I don't know how many emails or how many posts I got back or messages. Don't stop.
Oh,
I because of you, I'm back in the gym. Because of you, I've done this. And I was like, I didn't have any idea.
see
And
there?
there was tons of people told me that. And I'm like, okay, well, if I'm just going to keep doing it
But
because
that's what you would hope inspires people out there listening, that what you're doing, you never know
no,
who
you
you're
don't know. You don't know. And I've been, a teacher for 24 years.
uh
And, sometimes you get to see these kids that you taught way back when. I just met one of mine that's in college to become a teacher.
Oh,
And just last year, just in October, and she told me the things that I did with her, with the class and reading certain things and just our conversations and things like that, that it made such an impact. Now, I cried
oh,
because you just never know.
yeah,
You don't know.
yeah.
And when that happened to me, I'm like, it's made everything worthwhile.
Of course, of course. That's
Everything's worthwhile.
all of it.
Yeah.
That's
All the sacrifice, all the hard work, all of the worrying,
hmm
for her as a teacher is paid off in that one person.
well, that's right. That's right. That's what I was saying. Even one person, you've inspired a lot more people with the weight loss challenge. I know you've inspired tons of kids, tons from the education. That's no question. And then this as well. We're just in awe of you, Maureen. So thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
No, thank you so much for coming on. I couldn't wait to do this show with you.
I was honored that you'd actually want to speak with me about this. So it was really cool. And you don't know how inspiring you are. So ditto.
Thank you.
Because you're giving me the Fitbit and all this other stuff. And I see you on Facebook, and half the time I wonder, how does this woman do all that she does?
Not real well.
No, I'm serious. Like, oh, wow.
I
You're
get a
doing this
lot
and-
of help. I need a shout out to Jay in California. He goes by Gear Dad. He does our Instagram. We've got people like Dion he's setting up Fitbit groups. This is a whole community thing over here, and we're just trying to keep the motivation alive. So you're a wonderful person for us to hear from. And thank you for saying nice things. That means you're saying nice things about all of us over here. So thank you.
I am, and I'm so looking forward to continuing our journey together.
Yeah, we are. I'm signed up for either the next weight loss challenge or the one we create. Either way.
Yeah, we can have two. Why not? Just two of them.
Right
and just have some. I mean, we'll have fun with it.
That's the thing. Make it fun. All right, girl. I will see you tomorrow. I will look for you.
Yes.
So I can give you a high five.
All right. Sounds good. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Maureen. We'll talk soon.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, I loved that show because I love Maureen. Thank you again, Maureen, for doing it. I'm really fortunate to have Maureen in my life, just to get to feed off of her energy. But you can too. All the links are in the show notes today at F2FHQ.com/090. You will see Maureen, how to follow her on Facebook, on MyFitnessPal, and now in Fitbit, and be her Fitbit friend, because she just got her Fitbit. I know she was talking about it, and she got it last week, and she's going crazy with her steps. She's also a writer. She has some great poetry and a great writing blog at Just Right Baby. But those links, again, are in the show notes. So check her out. Check out her writing and check out everything about Maureen. You'll be inspired. Speaking of Fitbit, Stephen won our April challenge, and we'll have him on the show in about a month. He won with 842,470 steps, which is a ridiculous amount of steps, but we're very impressed. Stephen, congratulations again for winning the April challenge. Can't wait to talk to you about it. Another person that I want to shout out to is Michelle Gabovics. We haven't talked about Michelle in a while. About a year ago, she just got up off the couch one day and decided to change her life and do a 5K. I don't know if that's advisable. Michelle's very young, so she can handle that. But her life did change. It just clicked on one day. And speaking of community and challenges and things, Michelle and her friends started a Facebook closed group just for people she grew up with, people who are geographically aren't right in her area, all of them. But it's called Fitness with Friends. And they invited me, so I get to see what they're doing. A lot of challenges, a lot of fun. And that's all we're saying is if you don't, if community works for you, look for more things like that or start something like that. And again, today in the show notes are ways that you can connect with us in MyFitnessPal, in the Fitbitter community, and on Facebook. So definitely come over and like us on Facebook, and come and get in touch with us in MyFitnessPal and places where we can be in touch all week long, motivating each other. So thanks. Go and have a great week. Please leave us an iTunes review if you can. That really helps the show. If that's how you listen to us, through iTunes, those iTunes reviews really help the show. And you can follow us on Twitter, and again on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you, Jay Fernando, for doing our Instagram page. I need somebody to kind of step up and say they will give a weekly tip. I'm not really a tip person because I don't have a lot of tips. So I'm falling behind. People want weekly tips. The most I can come up with is this seaweed that I really love. It's roasted seaweed. I'll put a link in the show notes, because you should really only get the roasted seaweed that is with like olive oil, and this is not. So I'm not a good tip person. But anyway, that's something that I enjoy eating. I'll show you if you're looking on YouTube what it looks like. It's yummy. It's an alternative to potato chips. They roast it, and then it's got some oil and some salt. It's yummy. So I'll put a link in the show notes for that. Go have a great week. Do something healthy. Encourage other people. Be inspiring and be inspired. And have a great week. We'll talk soon. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed that video. You can find us at fat2fithq.com. And also come over and find us on Facebook. Like our page. There's lots of good stuff going on over there. So thanks again for watching, and have a great day.
This has been a production of the Firearms Radio Network. You can find more information at firearmsradio.tv.